Joe, today we're going to prepare cedar plank pork chops.
Oh.
And we're going to prepare a boo marinade. So we're going to take, our boo cubes.
Okay. Well, you got cubes. How do you get them from cube to usable?
Great question. What we're going to do is we're going to put them into a high-speed blender along with, I've got 1.5 cups of oil, and I have 1/2 cup of Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce really adds great flavor to the marinade. And now we're going to turn it on.
Oh.
That's all it takes.
Okay.
And it blends so nicely. We'll take our marinade that we have just blended and we're going to pour that all over the top of our pork chops.
Hey, that smells pretty good, Tony.
Now, Joe, you mentioned to me one time prior to we're starting this, you've never cooked a pork chop on there. Why haven't you ever cooked a pork chop on your green egg?
Oh, because they dry out.
Now, we're going to show you a little secret today.
Uh-oh.
We're going to do cedar plank, which will help to maintain them. Plus, we're going to watch the temperature of our green egg and keep it low enough so that we can get a nice, cooking environment inside there, and they'll come out, you'll see, as moist as they could ever be. So now, one of the things that I like to do, Joe, is when we do this is I really like to keep them, in the marinade for at least, 2 to 3 hours. And what that does is it allows the meat to absorb all of the flavors.
Right.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to turn them over and make sure we got them pretty well covered. And and with this, when you taste, and we've done a number of other items with the boo and incorporated it into the marinade, it really enhances the flavors. It's unbelievably good. Now, as I mentioned to you, here's another thing that's going to help us out too.
Right.
Is we have some cedar planks. And, and green egg is now, producing some, cedar planks too. And one little trick that I learned from, the green egg, we warm these up, which is not a bad idea. So what we're going to do is go into our grill.
Okay.
And we're going to add them to the grill, just for a couple little, minute on each side. And that's going to help to start that cooking process a little bit too.
But your wood's wet, Tony. Why did you wet your wood?
That's an excellent question, Joe. The reason for allowing the wood to marinate in water or sit in water for at least an hour, I like to do a little bit more. It's not so dry. Because when you put them in and you don't have that moisture content in there, they'll burn, and they'll burn a lot quickly. We do want them to, create a little smoke, but we do not want them to catch fire. So one of the things that I always like to have is my trusty little spritz bottle of water, and if they start to flame up, we just go right over there and spritz them and put out the fire. But we want that smoke. That smoke is extremely important. So what we're going to do is we'll now turn them over. We'll close that up, and then we're going to season them, and we're going to put them on the fire. Now, we prepared, and this is a recipe that I'm going to give you, my friend. It's a boo rub, but this one is what we're called boo Java rub. And the reason why we call it a Java rub, we've got coffee in it. So it's going to perk up a lot of things in more way than one. So we're going to spread the Java rub over the top of the pork chop. Now we're going to do one side, and then when we put it on the plank, we'll season the other side. Bring this over to the grill. Joe, if you can lift that for us, please. All right, lift up. The other thing that's going to help us a little bit more and be a little advantageous too is the size of the pork chops. When you get really thin pork chops, they have a tendency of drying out a lot faster too. But because we've got temperature control and we're cooking them on the cedar plank, you'll watch what happens. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to season the other side.
Right.
And pretty liberally. Now, you saw that there's a little bay leaf that cling to it. Not a problem. That helps to add a little bit more flavor to what we're cooking.
Oh, Tony, do you smell that?
Oh, yeah. Just with the smell of the rub hitting that fire, it really works out pretty well. All right.
Need a vent.
Now we're going to vent it off a little bit, and we're going to maintain right around 350 degrees. So Joe, we're ready to go. We're gonna
I'm ready to eat.
Well, I think we ought to check our temperature of our pork chop.
Oh, wow.
Let's see. Joe, we're ready.
Oh, can you smell that?
Oh, fantastic. Now you're going to
Ooh.
taste a moist pork chop. Look how pretty that looks. Doesn't that look fantastic?
Check the color of the meat there.
Oh, outstanding, outstanding. You ready to taste?
You talk too much.
Oh,
Cut.
whoa! You can't, you can't start this without me. I've been waiting for this all day. Let's see what you got here.
All right.
Oh man!
Ooh.
Can we just go ahead and jump in?
You can go right
Here
ahead.
you go, sir.
Oh,
Have
thank you,
oh,
sir.
Now,
You got to do the first taste.
Ah,
because you're going to taste what a moist pork chop should be like.
moist. Oh, wow.
Oh my God!
Mm.
Look at the moisture coming out of that pork chop. Look at that. I can't talk over the sound of their mouths moving over here.
I'm going
chewing.
to tell you, I'm totally speechless at how good this is. So, hey, guys, I want to thank you all. Chef Tony, thanks again.
Pleasure.
And, you know, Joe, thanks for coming on today to explain the green egg and being a big old egghead yourself.